Hey, what's up, guys? So I did do a trailer review on Star Wars The Last Jedi's teaser trailer. This video will be slightly different, if not entirely different, because in the teaser trailer review I didn't really talk in detail. I just said what I liked, didn't like, how it was very brief, didn't ruin any plot. This time I'm going to go into quite a bit of detail about what we do know. This isn't necessarily about the trailer, some of it is, but this is more about the Last Jedi panel that we saw, which had Kathleen Kennedy was there, Ryan Johnson was there, John Boyega, Daisy Ridley, Mark Hamill. It's about what they have said about the film and about what we know. Not a lot is known still. We don't know what the actual plot of the film is still, but what we do know is that, you know, there's certain developments between some certain characters and certain character reactions. So, you know, let's talk about, firstly, I guess we'll start with our main character, which is obviously Rey, played by Daisy Ridley. She had quite a lot to say about this character when she was on the panel. So to start off with, we know that The Last Jedi will go deeper into her story, which obviously we knew anyway, because it's, you know, it's a follow-on. It's like Empire Strikes Back went deeper into Luke's story of becoming a Jedi. He trained with Yoda. And in this one, it's obvious that Rey will be somewhat training with Luke, but it's sort of different because where Luke was training with Yoda, Yoda wasn't really reluctant about it. He was just sort of, I guess, trying to test Luke's patience by acting like, you know, a douchebag and acting stupid. In this sense, it's like Luke isn't what he seems. What she said, what Daisy Ridley specifically said, is that when you meet your heroes, you know, it's not what it seems. And it seems like, you know, because she thought he was like in The Force Awakens, I thought Luke Skywalker was a myth. It's that sort of thing. She really looks up to Luke, and it's like when she meets him, it's like, well, that's not what I expected. And it makes sense. Luke's been away all this time. He blames himself for the fall of the Jedi. I mean, his father died in his arms, you know. You can't blame Luke for being a changed man. But I feel like, you know, what's going to happen to Luke is going to be very interesting because it's not necessarily that he's still a Jedi. When he says he wants the Jedi to end, you know, more will go on about Luke later on. This is just about Rey specifically. But what Daisy Ridley said, that fans should be excited about Luke's first words, which that might just be a joke about the fact that Luke didn't say a single word in The Force Awakens. He just looked, you know, blankly at Rey. But I feel like maybe that has more of a meaning to it. Maybe his first words will be important to this story and to Rey's story. I mean, I don't know if we'll find out more about her backstory per se, but you know, I kind of want to. I kind of want to know where she came from, but at the same time, if it's a mystery, that's kind of fine with me. I just hope that they sort of explain how she got to, you know, use the Force and how she got to. And I hope midichlorians aren't involved this time. But I want to know how she is as powerful as she is, because, you know, it makes sense. I mean, we saw that whole floating rock thing in this trailer as well, like we did when Luke was training with Yoda, which says, yeah, she definitely can channel and use the Force in this movie. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to know what they do with that. But also, the First Order, we found out, have become a lot more aggressive after the destruction of Starkiller Base. I mean, in the trailer, we didn't really know a lot about Poe from the panel because Oscar Isaac wasn't there. They didn't really delve upon Poe apart from when it came to talking about Finn. But what we know about Poe from this trailer is that his X-Wing is destroyed. We see him running through, I guess it's the Rebel base with BB-8, and we see a shot of Phasma and some stormtroopers walking out of the smoke and the fire. And I felt like that was a continuation from that shot we saw in The Force Awakens when Rey touched the lightsaber and got the Force vision. We saw Luke. What I can only assume is the Burning Jedi Temple with R2, because we get another shot of that in this trailer, and I can only assume it's from the same scene. I assume maybe we'll get the whole flashback this time. Maybe it's when Rey channels the Force like Luke told her to. Maybe she sees it all. But I thought that shot of Phasma and the Stormtroopers may just be from that scene. But I feel like it's actually not. I feel like that shot is from the scene where we see the X-Wing blow up. Because at the same time, there's another shot of Kylo Ren, and he has the scar on his face and the lightsaber. And there's like fire in the background, and that can't be from the same scene because he only got the scar from The Force Awakens when he was dueling with Rey. So I feel like that scene and the destruction of the X-Wing are the same scene, and that maybe this film will open, because I heard that it opens with the First Order being very sort of aggressive and more powerful than before. I mean, it probably will open directly after Force Awakens on the island with Luke and Rey, but I feel like the first ever scene of the First Order in this film will be the destruction of the Resistance base, and it will be Poe's X-Wing being destroyed. I don't think Poe will get captured again, because we got enough of that in the last film. But, you know, it's possible that he could die. I don't know if he will. I hope he doesn't. I absolutely love Poe. And I heard that there will be more Poe and Finn adventures. That's what John Boyega said on the panel. So he probably won't die in this specific scene. But yeah, it's interesting to know that the First Order are really... Like in The Empire Strikes Back. The Empire Struck Back. The First Order are doing it in this one. But, you know, I'm not saying this is going to be a complete copy of Empire Strikes Back. But it looks like that's kind of similar to the Hoth attack in Empire Strikes Back. I don't know. Could be true, could be not true. But yeah. So yeah, we know that about the First Order. We also know that this won't be Luke Skywalker's story. Mark Hamill confirmed that. But then Kathleen Kennedy said, like, don't be so modest. You're very important to this plot. So we know that this will be Rey's story, but Luke will have a very big part to play. We also got a new character confirmed. Her name's Rose. Can't remember the actress who plays her. She was on the panel, but apparently she's pulled into action by Finn, who obviously will get revived in this film. There's nothing else about her. It's just the fact that she is, I guess, a member of the Resistance who goes on a little adventure with Finn. I guess we'll find out more in future trailers, or just in December when the film comes along. We will see. But apparently Finn will definitely be in action in this film. On his pod that he's in, the healing pod, we see the word stable. So I guess that means that we know that Finn will be fine eventually in this film. He'll be in action. Apparently he might be wearing like a Bacta suit or something. But I don't know. I don't know how true that is. We've seen him wear the jacket on set photos. And there were photos revealed at the panel of him wearing the jacket. So I guess we'll definitely see more of Finn in action, but you know, I don't know how much. I guess we'll find out soon. Also, Carrie Fisher was very heavily involved in this film. We found out apparently Rian Johnson and Carrie Fisher like wrote notes together. She actually helped produce this movie, and it's very good to know that she had such a big part in this film, because obviously she sadly passed away, and it will be tragic to watch this film and just know that this is the last time we're going to see Carrie Fisher as Princess Leia, or now General Leia. It's very sad to know that we'll be seeing that. At the same time, it's so nice to know that the last Star Wars movie she appeared in, she was heavily involved in writing and helping out with. And it will be such a bittersweet experience, because I'm so excited for this film, but I know I'll walk out and I'll be very sad at knowing that Carrie Fisher has, you know, done her last Star Wars movie, and this is the last, because she's been such a big part of most people, if not everyone's childhood. I mean, who didn't watch Star Wars growing up? And Princess Leia was such a great character. And Kathleen Kennedy has said that Rian Johnson's great at writing strong female characters, and that might not just be Rey, Princess Leia, or General Leia in this movie. Obviously, she was already established as a strong female character from the original Star Wars, but you know, it means that she's probably a lot more developed in this as well, and that's just great. I can't wait to see what they do with Leia. And it'll be interesting, because I know she's definitely not in episode 9, so it'll be interesting to see what they do with her. Whether they do what they did with like Paul Walker's character in The Fast and the Furious and have like, I guess, a tribute to her but not kill her off, or if they just go and kill her off, I don't know. We'll find out very soon. I know that. You know, December's not that long away. As far away as it seems, all these questions will be answered, and we're just speculating now. But we will know it all, and half of this could be so untrue. But, you know, also at the panel, a very interesting image of Kylo Ren was seen. There was an image of Kylo Ren, Phasma, and General Hux, which tells us that they are going to play quite a big part in this movie. I mean, Phasma barely played a part, and Hux had a really cool speech, but he didn't do much in the last movie, so it's interesting to know we'll see them do quite a fair bit in this one. But there was an image of Kylo Ren that really stood out to me. So we've not seen a single image of him wearing his helmet. I know it gets destroyed. We see it destroyed in this movie. Some people have speculated it's Vader's. It's not. You can see the silver trim around the eyes. But it's interesting because he won't wear the helmet at all in this film, apparently, from what we've seen. Maybe he'll get a new one. Maybe he'll have it more sculpted like Vader's. You know, that'll be interesting. But we've heard that he might be getting Vader's cape. I don't know if that's true yet. But I don't know how he even got hold of it. I mean, Vader was burned in his cape, so whatever. But I heard that he might be getting Vader's cape in this film. which means that the shot of him that I'm talking about is very similar to a shot of Anakin Skywalker in Revenge of the Sith when he's first seduced. You know, the scene where he kills all the younglings. It's very similar to that. He has a pale face, scar, yellow eyes, and you look at it and it's so similar to Anakin Skywalker, and you're like, is he being seduced by the Sith? I mean, if he does get Vader's cape, that could mean something. It's either he's being seduced by the Sith powers of Darth Vader and Emperor Palpatine. Although they're dead, it doesn't mean that, you know, their spirits don't live, because as we know, Force ghosts. But we see that shot of him with the yellow eyes, so it means that he could be being corrupted by the Sith, or at the same time he could be being brought back to the light side by Anakin or Darth Vader, because we know that Darth Vader goes back. And saying that, there is a very similar side to it to Luke's story, whereas Kylo Ren could be torn between the two. Same with Luke. We hear him say the Jedi need to end, and that doesn't necessarily mean that he wants the Jedi to end and he wants to go to the dark side. It could mean that Luke is a grey Jedi, which is when they, you know, dabble in both sides of the Force, light side and dark side. And that's the same with Kylo Ren. The poster is very interesting because we see Rey holding the lightsaber and it goes from blue to red, and that's the balance of the Force. We hear her talking about the balance of the Force in this trailer. So the fact that they've got that, and half of the side is Luke's face, half of it is Kylo Ren's face, and it means that they could both be torn, or it could just mean one side's light side, one side's dark side. But it also could mean they're both being torn between the two sides. So that is very interesting, and I want to see what they do with that, because if they do go in that direction, it's very interesting to me, and I feel like it could be like one of the best Star Wars movies yet if they do go in that way, because we don't know who we're rooting for. And also, there's a new planet called Crate. We see these things that look like possibly pod racers. I don't know. Nothing's known about this planet. I just thought I'd mention it because it's in the trailer, you know, with the red smoke. It's very beautiful, and we see some AT-ATs. So that's what we know about Star Wars The Last Jedi. I hope it was interesting to you guys. I hope you learned something new here about Star Wars The Last Jedi. So what did you think of the teaser? What did you think of the panel? Did you watch it? And were you at Star Wars Celebration Orlando? Unfortunately, I wasn't. I was at Star Wars Celebration Europe. Last year I saw the Rogue One panel, and I really wish I could have been in Orlando this time because it looks like so much fun. But anyway, I'm getting out of breath now. I've talked a lot about The Last Jedi, so let me know what you guys think. And if you like what you see here, give me a like and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you soon.